bombshell review. Joining me is the Super Mushroom Alex McMullen.
Hello, you sexy people.
The Magic Mushroom Matt Chapman.
Hello, sexy people.
And the Fungal Infection Craig Clark.
I've noticed a theme here, people. I've noticed a theme that he always starts off with him so he doesn't get any insults. So
That's a good point.
Just for today, you look like the Elephant Man's circumcised penis.
No.
Please welcome Chris Taylor.
I'll allow you that. With all the abuse I've given you for the last 2 seasons.
Okay, so the theme this week is racing games. And to kick us off with this one is Craig.
I'm going to talk about an online game called Quop.
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 QWOP.
It sounds like a sex position gone wrong.
It sounds like something to be written over a Batman comic.
Pretty much. The game was originally released in 2008, and since 2010 it's become a bit of an internet meme as such. The premise of the game is you control a runner, but you only control his legs, and you have to run 100 metres.
So what's happening at the top half? Is he just giving it all that?
Yep.
It's a ragdoll physics. You control the thighs and the calves of his legs by pressing Q, W,
Oh, thighs.
or O and P.
It takes my brain sometimes a little bit to catch up with what word he's
Well, we know
actually
that.
said.
Why? What did you think I'd say?
Fires.
Thighs.
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 With a
Did you miss the TH?
Yeah.
Tiggies.
And yeah, you control the legs. So the idea of the game is to try and actually just get as far as you can within it.
Sounds really random.
It is, and it's
So, one of
incredibly
those.
hard.
It sounds a
Endless-
bit like Gang Beasts, where you sort of...
Gang Beasts is a lot
That's
more
your
easier.
website.
No, Gang Beasts is a game, like where it's like a sort of a plasticine man, a bit like
Only the ragdoll physics side of it.
what was it? Human Fall Flat as well.
Yeah.
Where it's that sort of ragdoll sort of movement that you've got.
Yeah.
The thing with the game is the guy that created it has since had death threats. Because
Any
it's
particular reason?
stupid.
I don't know why I'm laughing at that. It's not...
It is stupidly hard. As in, the game will start and you can fall over straight away, and you'll get a congratulations, you got.
Oh, so
0.1
maybe it
meters.
is physics similar to Gang
Well, and for
Beasts.
that you got a death threat because you made a hard game.
Very hard game.
The creators of Dark Souls must
I'm
be
going to say
bricking
something
it.
like, I don't know whether something like Dark Souls gets universal acclaim. Everybody bangs on about how great it
But
is.
it's also like really, really
Yeah,
hard.
it's
Or Ghouls and Ghosts. Or, yeah, it is Ghouls and Ghosts, isn't it?
Or is
I
it Ghosts and
think-
Goblins?
I think the
Which one
reason
was
he
which?
probably
One of them.
Yeah.
I think the reason he probably got so many death threats because after 50 metres of you actually learning how to run, he put a hurdle in.
And then as soon as you get to 100 metres, it's a long jump section to see how far you can jump.
There's internet videos of people that can complete it in under 2 minutes.
Complete it? I thought it was an
No,
endless runner.
No, it is where if you somehow manage to glitch onto the hurdle and then do some weird kneely kind of thing, you can run for indefinite.
Not really amazing.
It is.
Oh, is
Because
it? I
he's
thought
a
it was
racer.
How?
Is that only on PC?
No, you can get it online and stuff like that.
Is it all like
Is it only
leaderboard?
on PC? No, you can get it online.
No,
Sorry, you can get it on mobile phone and things like that.
It's a unique game in respect that it's stupidly hard, and I'd like to see each one of you have a go at it.
That was it. Quop.
No.
No, not just Quop.
You've got to at least say, I mean, do you approve? Do you like it?
I don't. I'm rubbish at the game, so
Well, I don't mean to say whether you like it or not.
Oh, no,
I mean, it can be a
it's-
hard game that you do like.
Is it all about leaderboard?
Look at
that-
Tower.
is
there is
that
no leaderboard. The thing is, if the guy had put a leaderboard within the game, no one would have played it. It is more designed that
So it's to get to the end.
the idea is to basically complete the race.
that is the idea, and technically to do it as quick as you can, so you can have one-upmanship on your friends.
Mm-hmm.
That said, it's so hard. I mean, as soon as you get a certain distance, it will put a little, this is your best distance. And then the next 40 goes, you won't get anywhere near that. And it's there, just staring at you going, you were good once, and you fluked it.
What kind of things catch you out? On this,
Well,
on
you
this?
said hurdles.
No, but I mean, it was like pits of spikes and
No,
all sorts.
there's literally 50 metres in, there is a hurdle.
What gets you out more on the game is because it is so hard to control the legs, within seconds, there's a chance you
I was going to ask that.
backwards.
So it basically, if you don't control the legs to be
Proper,
perfectly rhythmic, you're
you'll
going to fall over.
And then there's a chance that your body can be leaning so far backwards and your legs are still running in the air because you're trying to get a rhythm. And you've not changed your rhythm to compensate for where your body weight is going, so you end up starting to run
Oh,
backwards.
so
or
it
fall over.
sort of kind of sticks to physics.
Yeah.
Yes, this is Guess the Sound. This is the quiz where one of us will pick a sound from a game from any era, and the rest of us will have to guess where that sound comes from. The one that guesses the most wins. This week, Alex will be playing the sounds, and me, Craig, and Matt will be guessing. So,
Has it got a theme?
is it themed?
Racing games.
Oh. If it's just different bike noises, then I got.
See Yamaha 500.
Anyway, that was Guess the Sound.
Sorry, Alex.
It's music, I assume.
Right, you ready?
We're ready.
So, sound number 1.
Go on.
Wave race.
Oh, was it that?
well done.
I genuinely was going to say that and went, no, it won't be that.
I remember the ding, 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 ding
One?
with the birds tweeting and all that sort of stuff. With the woman with the sexy voice.
Yeah.
Whee!
Next one.
Okay. Mariokart.
Oh my god!
64. Oh.
What level?
It's
Rapid Beach. Rapid no laments.
Right, so that was a theme to a track. Okay, so we've got
Okay.
no more of them, so don't worry. Okay.
Like the rest are all games
So
then.
all the rest are all
Let's just
games.
name the game.
Yes. Okay.
Are we both getting a point for that?
Yes.
So it's 2-1.
Okay.
And 1-1.
No, 2-1. That's Crash Team Racing.
Why did you take so long to?
Because it's Crash and Nitro can't do the same thing.
Oh.
Okay.
I think they were actually two different games.
Were they?
I'm fairly.
I don't know. I don't know.
Crash Nitro
Nitro
Kart.
racing game. What,
Crash
what
Nitro
more do you
Kart.
want?
Yes.
Technically,
Craig
it
gets a
wasn't
point.
just Mario Kart. It was Mario Kart 64. But
Right. My favourite racing game of all time. Are you ready?
You haven't got a favourite
Burnout, is
racing
it
game.
Burnout?
Wait,
hang on. And what's the scores at the minute? Is it 2-2 for me and Matt?
Yes.
what's the scores and what's the rules? Are we just naming the game?
I'm being nice. Right. You ready?
Oh. Go on.
Well done, Chris. You win.
3-2. Yeah.
So it wasn't Crazy Taxes.
Well done.
Thanks, mate.
So yes, Chris wins. Guess the sound.
Well, that was a bit bloody easy, wasn't it?
Well,
Well, no, because you lost.
yeah. Okay, what I'm going to talk about this week is the, as Craig's already tried to poach, the Outrun game series.
Is that like Quop?
No, not even close.
No, because more than 2 people have played it.
How long's that run been out for?
It's old, isn't it?
34
You see, listeners,
years.
that's the level of in-depth facts you get on this show. It's old, isn't it?
No, because he didn't ask when it came out. He asked how old is it? 34 years. So I think it was 1986 the first Outrun game came
And that
out.
was on Nintendo.
It was a Sega game. So
Was it a
came,
Sega?
Yeah, Sega game. So it came
Well,
out
it was
for
originally in
the
the arcade.
Yeah.
A long time.
Yeah,
before
it was,
went
yeah.
to
No.
console.
I think it came out on console at the arcades after it was on the console. It was a Sega game anyway.
Oh yes. Yeah.
It was made by Sega, and I know it was on the Mega Drive console. But there were many different variations of Outrun. Quite a lot actually. More than when I was researching it, more than I realised.
So yeah, you've got Outrun. The latest Outrun came out, and it was basically a reimagining of the original game
Yeah.
in a lot of ways. Where because Outrun was a bit of a forerunner really, because it did some of the other racing games didn't do. It wasn't just sort of lap, and you finish.
It followed a particular route, and it gave you the option to actually choose like where you went next. So you start off in one particular area, and it sort of create this sort of pyramid track system.
So you'd get to the end of the first bit, which would be like, I don't know, in the city or something like that. And then you'd basically you get to choose 2 roads to sort of go down. You sort of reach a fork in the road, and then you choose which road to go down. And depending on which route you go, would depend on how the scenery changes.
So if you choose one way, it'll go into like a snowy mountain level, and if you choose the other way, it'll go to like a forest level or something like that.
You'd be so pissed off living in the Outrun world, though, wouldn't you? Because you'd be like, kids, come on, we're going on holiday. 10 hours later.
Oh, you mean
And you're not even any closer to
You mean the fact that that mountain never gets any closer?
Again, it was kind of a front runner for that kind of horizon-y chase, the horizon not getting any closer type game. And obviously, as it's evolved, as technology's evolved, the distances do get closer, obviously. But it sort of changes the scene because although they did have that horizon chasing, because you went from one environment to another, it gave a feeling that you were actually moving from one environment to another. The bit I always liked about it was the fact that if you crashed, the woman in the car
Give you a bollock.
she basically told you off. You see it going like that next to you, and you're hanging your head in shame.
Yeah, it was basically the faster that you went and the more overtakes that you did, the happier that she got, wasn't it? You see love hearts and stuff coming up from the character, and then if you crashed, you got the arms.
Yeah, she did, but the way it's evolved, although the basic formula hasn't really changed, obviously the graphics have evolved and the way that it sort of, obviously the distance gets closer because nowadays they create like a 3D environment in order to sort of drive through, whereas before, like you said, the distance didn't get closer until your screen changed to a different environment. But it's sort of, like I say, it created this sort of pyramid of track system where you had so many different variations of routes that you could do, that it kept things like interesting. It kept you wanting to play it and play it more.
You could do a lot of different combinations.
I've not gone down route A yet. I've not gone down route C yet. Things like that.
I remember Outrun 2 in an arcade. There was always 2 seats.
Yes.
Oh,
I can't remember.
we
what the
remember
second
Outrun
seat
2 in
did.
the arcade. We probably spent like most of the money that we ever had
What
when we
did
were.
the second
No,
seat
I've got
do?
a question.
I think
Did
it's
they have a
just-
gun or something?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Because
actually.
that's what I
I
can
bet they
remember.
were just
it.
encouraging you to play with your missus.
Well,
What was the bit about a gun?
No, I couldn't. That's what I'm trying to. I can remember there was the male side and the female side in the arcade game. Genuinely can't remember
what do you
the
mean, the
second
male
one.
side and the female side?
Because you know how the male always sat on the right. No, did he? Was it which side
On
did
the
he sit on? On the left, and then you had the female on the right.
Yeah.
They had the seats in the arcade.
Yeah, but why not just 2 separate screens to do 2
I
different...
can't remember. That's what I'm saying. I can't remember. I can
From what I
remember the
remember, yeah,
arcade
you did
machine.
have 2 seats, but it was 2 screens, so you could both sort of race against each other,
Ah,
like a
not
2-player
bad.
multiplayer sort of situation. Because you could then, it depends on your arcade. You could have ones where you have like 4 in a row,
Yeah.
and you could have 4-player games and things like
So
that.
I can remember the
Still
arcade
quite
machine. That was it.
What's the name of the piece of music that you always used to choose? That was your.
Oh, I can't remember.
There was one called Magical Sound Shower,
Yeah.
and
Don't.
No. the one that I always used to choose, 'cause I thought it was really
Juice.
funky.
Hummingbird.
The one that I always used to choose was called Risky Ride. Remember
Yes,
that?
I do, yeah.
And I've now got that piece of music as the ringtone on my phone for my dad, because we both ride motorbikes and basically
Well, I mean, your dad rides motorbike, you kind of...
crash them.
You know when you said
I should have it as a ringtone for myself, but
Well, I don't know, I reckon you should have the ringtone to Casualty.
that's not a bad shout.
Okay.
Well, that was Quop.
Yeah, this is Real or Fake. This is our new feature, which basically what we have to do is one of us will describe a game that they have either made up or researched in some way, and the other 3 have to basically decide whether that game is real or fake. So this week I will be seeing if the others can guess whether my game is real or fake. Okay, my game is Wanking Simulator. Right? Basically, this is a game that's a bit like Goat Simulator, made in the same sort of style, but instead of playing a goat, you play a wanking man. And you go into sort of areas that you wouldn't...
Whoa, go back.
Let me finish.
When you say wanking man,
Yeah.
do you mean a man from the town of Wanking
No.
or a man masturbating?
I mean a man masturbating.
Okay.
Okay, so you go into areas where you wouldn't necessarily have
You're
a man...
going to sit there and say about school and things like that, aren't you?
No. But like things I don't know.
No, that'd be weird.
Yeah.
Areas like a church or something like that. Or I don't know, cinema or something like that. So something where you wouldn't expect it to happen. And
Speak for yourself.
No, I would expect people to be having a wank in the cinema. That's but anyway.
What? What
You've
films
done
do
it,
you
haven't you?
watch?
why?
Come on, it's dark. You're hidden out of the way. You know there might be something a bit tasty on.
They've all got night vision cameras to
It's
stop you pirating.
It's not going to be the last place you're going to be doing it, is it? That's all I'm saying.
You'll do
You've
anything.
done it, haven't you?
Just imagine you've sat there eating your popcorn.
He's not denying it, though. He's masturbating in the cinema.
I haven't
What?
done it. Carry on.
That poor old Karen
Well, I
coming
mean,
in
I'm a
sitting
bit
in that
concerned,
seat.
being one of the last films he watched was a Disney film.
Carry on.
No,
Let it
so
go.
Who produced the game?
It's a good question. I have no idea.
Chris Taylor.
Yeah, I did it. No, it was. I think.
model of himself.
I think it was Ultimate Games.
But it's basically the same as Goat Simulator, where, like I say, instead of playing a goat, you play a masturbating man, and you crash into things, and it knocks things all over the place, and you've got to cause as much destruction as you
What are the
possibly can.
What are the graphics like?
Well, they're not like obviously AAA game graphics, but they're your sort of usual sort of like indie game graphic for
What,
it's only out.
3D?
It's only out on the PC, so it's your typical sort of indie game graphic type now. It's similar. That's like Goat Simulators. It's not exactly a great.
Can you
graphic
choose your
game.
characters?
Don't think so, no.
I can't believe I'm asking this, but how do you end the game?
It's the same as Goat Simulator. You're on a timer, and once the
You're
timer
on a timer.
yeah, you're on a timer, and once the timer runs out, then
You explode.
no, once the timer runs out, you see how much damage you've caused and how much money that's.
Do you get more time if you go for a checkpoint?
I don't think so, mate. No.
Any questions?
No. No questions.
You just don't want to ask questions.
No.
No, because everything I think of saying, like just trying to get my head around it.
Anything you can think of saying, you might end up incriminating yourself further.
He already has. He masturbates in cinemas.
What are the controls?
Well, it's kind of just sort of move about. I think there's a lunge option for more impact.
No, I think he means like. You mean like joypad and stuff, or like what you can?
Yeah, so
actually
it's just
do?
the move about.
Oh yeah, I mean like how many different.
There's not loads of different.
manoeuvres.
I think there's a jump and a lunge and a move about to cause more destruction.
Right.
I was going to say, why would a wanking man cause so much destruction? But
Why would it go?
Why would it get? Yeah, exactly. So it makes as much sense as that, really.
It don't. It don't make as much sense.
What's it out on? What?
He's a pig.
Which consoles can you play it on?
It's not out on any of the consoles. It's only out on the PC.
Okay. See that, I believe.
So how many hours have you played this game?
15 minutes a day.
As soon as you get home.
Yeah.
But what do you
Just
do?
for a bit of stress relief.
Draw the curtains, turn the pictures round. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get some answers out of you then.
What,
So,
what are you thinking? You go first.
Alex, real or fake?
Definitely fake.
I can imagine that a game like that exists, and all the little details and stuff. Yeah, I'll go along with it, right? But would it be called Wanking Man?
It's not called wanking.
All right, then Wanking Man, Wanking Simulator.
Wanking Simulator.
Would it be called that? Actually, that's the bit I'm
Right, so Alex says fake, Matt.
fake.
Craig.
I'm gonna have to say true, on the basis of them to have said fake. So
You don't want to say another
Because else
fake.
it'd be really boring.
Yeah.
And I can reveal that Wanking Simulator is
Can't be true.
a real game.
Oh God.
Piss off.
It is a real game.
I'm
Hey,
shocked.
So there you go. So Craig is the only one who gets a point there.
A Wanking Simulator is a real game.
So, my subject is a game that's not very fond in my heart.
Quop.
I know this.
Quop. Enough with the quop.
Never.
Mariokart.
Which one?
All of them.
Any of them. It didn't matter.
So, I'm one of the most unluckiest people on the planet on that game,
He ain't lying.
and like I could be winning a race all the way around, and still have been on the finish line.
It does happen.
You could rarely fluke your way to the front every now and again.
No. It just did my nothing. I got bullied by these on it. Quite most
I
of my
think as
life.
well, it don't help that obviously me and Matt were obsessed with this game with the whole Mario Kart challenge, which anyone that's seen the first season will know what that's all about. So we were sort of quite hardcore with it, especially Mario Kart 64.
Can we not do hardcore after the previous subject? Don't need that.
But
You're
however,
the only one that believed it was real.
however, I did excel at the multiplayer balloon one.
You were alright on the battle
Yeah,
mode.
the battle
Battle
mode.
mode,
Yeah.
I was all right. But
Yeah.
on the racing,
When it
I
came
was
to the
just
races,
gash.
I will admit, as anyone needs to admit, that Mario Kart is at least 50% luck.
Oh god, yeah. Probably more. I mean, it's mostly look down to what weapons you get,
What you hit, what
yeah.
you happen to
Yeah.
collide with. And
It just don't help that everything you throw on the track, Alex hit.
Yeah.
No matter where it was or what it was, it could be like next to a wall in the bushes, but Alex would still end up in that bush, like spinning on a banana skin.
Yeah, after I've been hit by a shelf. wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It'd be a catastrophe of things all going off at once.
2 seconds away from crossing the line for his first
I'll never
victory.
forget that. There was a time where we were going around this track and Alex was literally like as far away from Craig is to me now from the finish line. He's like, I'm going to do it. He gets smacked by a blue shell because you were in the lead. He gets smacked by a blue shell, spins around. He gets hit by another red shell behind him. And he ends up at the back.
And all the rest of us just...
I think it took us an hour to prise the controller out the wall.
That was a horrendous day.
That's what's made you are today, isn't it?
What, angry?
What such a happy soul.
Well, you have to stay positive, don't you?
So yeah, go on.
He's plotting against the world like Professor Chaos.
Yeah. So there was a few tracks that I didn't like. In fact, all of them. But
About 16 of them.
I can understand the appeal on the game. I can understand why people play it if they win. But yeah, I just
This is your review.
This is my review.
Come
So
on
I'm
then,
just
come
talking
on. Let's give it a bit more positive.
All right, positive.
What
So
did you like?
okay,
What
so
battle mode?
the characters. I love the characters, especially playing as Bowser. Apart from, it was really slow to start with, and then he gets his speed. But once you get hit by a
Well, I
shell,
mean,
it takes you half an hour to get going.
If we're talking about Mario Kart 64, which I think we are,
We sort of blasted through.
with Bowser and I think Donkey Kong, there was an advantage there anyway.
Weights.
Although they were slower, they were big fat knobheads,
they could
which
just
meant
push
that
you
you
off,
could
couldn't
just
they?
smash into the back of somebody and knock them off track. Whereas with me, who chose Toad because it was the fastest car, you know, it was also the lightest. So as soon as any of the fat knobheads came along, he was just sort of like.
Well, I used to play as Donkey Kong, who had the same advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah.
Well, you did to begin with, and you sort of moved on to Mario after that, didn't you?
Yeah, but we had plenty of hours on that game, didn't we, on Nintendo 64?
I'm not a big fan of Mario Kart.
No.
Alex loves it.
My kids love it. My partner loves it, and they enjoy spending times playing it for hours on end. And there's a character in it called Roy.
Roy?
Roy.
No.
He's
You're back to Quop again.
No. There's a character in it called, well, as far
Which
as I'm
Mario
aware,
Kart are you talking about?
the newest one for the.
Oh yeah, is it Roy? It's one of Bowser's kids, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was Mario Kart 64 where it all ended
Oh,
for you.
yeah.
You refused to play them ever since then, didn't you? We carried on.
I'm just curious. How did you get on with the Super Mario Kart?
Which one was that?
the original one. The very
Oh,
first
I
one.
really enjoyed that. That was really good.
How was it any different?
I remember my birthday, and I remember
Everything.
being up all night because I couldn't sleep because I was getting it for my birthday, and I was there all night.
You
and
know
my
about
mum was-
Mario Kart again?
Yes. Loved
So when the N64 came out, you knew there was a Mario Kart coming out. You were like, oh, wicked! There's a Mario Kart for the N64.
So
And
this
then
just
I got
fueled-
endlessly bullied on it.
So this
and
just
it
fueled
sort of-
extra bitterness then. The game
I
that
think-
you used to be so fond of.
I think it's definitely put me off racing games.
Just racing games as a whole.
Yes.
Not just karting games, though.
No, just racing games.
Just anything in a car. So as soon as you see wheels, you're like, oh no!
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if anyone's ever told you this, but you know, it's fair to say the majority of racing games don't include you getting red and green turtle shells thrown at you.
I know, but the thing is, I get so paranoid playing any game now. You
So
never
now
know.
when you're
It's like
driving
PTSD.
so now when
Actually
you're
is.
driving around the track on Formula One or something, you're expecting that blue shell to clear up in a second.
Yeah.
Right, this is argumentative, which is a piss poor name. What?
Carry on.
Is a piss poor name for the feature that we've come up with, which is basically where I pick a subject which is what I view to be controversial within gaming, And then sometimes people might have slightly different opinions, and it might cause, you know, a bit of friction, a bit of an argument. Which is, by the way, I've noticed already, this is only the second one we're going to do, it's usually just an argument between me and him.
Stop it now, because you're freaking me out.
We're brothers.
It's just usually a game that I enjoy that Alex doesn't enjoy. That's what
That's
argument,
usually, yeah.
I think that's what the argument is always going to boil down to. Right, but here we go. Right,
Mariokart, yes.
Don't.
What's the controversial subject for this week?
the subject is realistic games versus fun games.
Can't realistic be fun?
This is the argument, isn't it? This is what I want to.
No, because you're saying it's realistic versus fun.
Yeah, as in
sometimes realistic is fun.
Okay, as in, so let's use the example of racing games for a start.
So simulator versus arcade.
Simulator versus arcade, right? So you've got one end of the scale, which is
I see what you're saying.
your Mariokart.
And I kind of know which side of this you sort of slide down. So
No, but it only applies to racing games. You see, this is the weird thing.
well, I mean, I know with racing games, obviously you're a big sort of simulator fan.
I like my racing.
You know, you take off all the automatic gears, you make take off the racing lines, things like that. So everything is completely as realistic as you can possibly make it.
The best simulator game I ever played was Driving Test Theory.
Not wanking simulator.
No. And
Driving Test Theory.
Driving Test Theory. It was a great game. You get questions.
Was it free?
It's
No.
Driving Test Theory. We've all played it.
You get some questions, and at the end of it, it tells you whether you passed or not, and then says you should book in a test. Great.
Whereas myself, I'm more of an arcade fan, so I like the ones where, like Outrun, where it's more fun. You haven't got to sort of tap your brake all the time, where you've literally got to get the perfect racing line. You've got to be like heavy on the brakes all the time, because I find that it slows you down a lot. There are some happy mediums, I will add though, like things like Drive Club. Is a proper happy medium in my eyes, because it's not quite simulator, but it's not quite arcade.
To
it
me,
sort of fits
Drive
somewhere in the middle.
Club never got the recognition that it deserved. I thought it was the perfect balance.
I've never heard of
Between-
it. Is it a free game?
Obviously, I'm not a major fan of racing games. However, I did play a good racing game the other day, and it wasn't a car or vehicle, it was a running
Hang on
game.
a minute ago you said you don't play any racing games anymore.
No. Right. Fall Guys.
Quop.
This is the free one.
This is more an obstacle thing. It's more like Takeshi's Castle. I don't mind that, because that's quite fun. And it's got a knockout thing.
Who's
got a
Castle?
race.
Takeshi.
Whatever. You know what I was on about.
Takeshi.
Yeah. And I found that fun. I don't live on it or anything.
But the way I was going to branch out the subject was, yes, I like simulation racing games. And some people like the more arcadey kind of ones. The extreme end of the scale is something like Mariokart, where it's just pure cartoon madness.
Yeah.
And then on the opposite end, you've got your things like your project cars and your
Formula One.
I did like Gran Turismo. But I get too bored of them too quickly.
Yeah, you got well into that when I had all the steering wheel set up.
In fact, I read a story once of this chap who had a rally game, and he left it for years and years and years, and his dad passed away. You got to wonder where this is going. And he put on the rally game a few years later,
And it
there was
mutated.
his dad's ghost.
His dad's
And
rally
he
ghost.
used to race against it all the time, trying to beat it.
Is this a real story?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so he'd try and beat his dad's ghost on the track, on the rally game. And when one day he finally got in front, and he got to the end and literally stopped his car just before the line, so his dad could overtake him, so he wouldn't lose it. I thought that was quite a touching idea.
Yeah, I've started talking about racing games, the difference between your simulation and your arcade game. But what about in just gaming in general? Realistic games, as in things like you like these sort of survival games where it's like all the elements.
So you mean
of
like a
realism.
survival game where you can just go around shooting zombies, or a survival game where you got to like eat and drink and pick up patches? Well, it's the difference between, I don't know, something like The Last of Us, where it's
Very
quite heavy on
story-driven.
survival.
Yeah.
You've
but it's
got
story-driven.
2 bullets. For
Yeah,
your gun.
you're literally picking up one bullet means a lot to you.
Yeah.
Or on the opposite end of that, you've got something like, I don't know, Uncharted, which is made by the same people, but there's a lot more. It's not as simulated as such.
the
It's all about
bullets are all
puzzles and
bullets.
things.
But
Like
even-
you can pick up loads of bullets. Tomb Raider the same.
And you're killing like
Tomb Raider's the same.
you're killing 500 blokes every
I've just
level.
noticed a sideline now. I've just noticed we actually got through an episode last week without me mentioning it.
You want to add
What's that
one
all
in there
about?
then, don't you?
Well, don't start now.
Oh, they did. I think that brings us to the end of the episode, so I'll say goodbye.
See you later.
I'll say
Bye,
goodbye.
Chris. See ya.